we've been talking to you about this Monica Goodling character. She was a senior aide to Attorney General Alberto Gonzales.
She was the White House liaison for her.
Mm-hmm.
So she did the talking about the U.S. attorneys. She would go to Harriet Miers or Karl Rove's office and say, let's make this work. She was a key aide. She's 19 years old.
She's not, but she is very young. She graduated Regent University Law School in 1999.
Graduated. Please.
Regent is the law school for Pat Robertson, and their agenda is, and they say it, is to for Christian leadership to change the world. Christian leadership to change the world. Now, Regent University is, it turns out, what they call a fourth-tier law school. That is as low a rating as you could possibly get, and that's from U.S. News and World Report, and there are other rankings, and they all have Regent University at the very bottom.
Their big claim to fame is that they used to be a total, complete 100% joke, and now in some competitions, they've had groups of students beat some Ivy League schools at I don't know what competitions.
Right, whatever. Probably some Dartmouth kids showed up, stoned and lost to a.
Well, but I mean, I'm not suggesting that Regent can't find 8 really bright kids a year.
Of course
they can. But by and large, it's a joke.
Right.
And nobody should. It shouldn't be accredited. Nobody should allow to be a lawyer from there. Everyone who's a lawyer from there should be disbarred by the close of business today.
Well, Ben, you didn't have to worry about that 7 years ago, because 60% of the kids graduating from Regent University failed the bar exam.
Oh.
So they didn't get barred to get disbarred in the first place. So, but they've improved it a lot now.
I'm sorry, the proctor, I have a question. There's nothing in here at all about the resurrection.
Yeah. When do we get quizzed on Deuteronomy?
Whose property was the rock that moved in Jesus' tomb?
All right. So 60% of them were failing. They have gotten better. Now only 30% of them failed the bar exam. And the funny thing is, the recent graduates and the people that are attending Regent University right now are embarrassed about older graduates like Monica Goodling.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. And number one, they say
so maybe they're getting their act together a little bit.
So they're like, wait a minute, those were the bad old days when we would accept anybody. And so don't judge us by the class of 99. And then literally they asked the students, what do you think about Monica Goodling in specific? And they're like, well, I sure hope that we wouldn't be in a situation where we would have to take the Fifth Amendment on anything.
All right, well, you know what?
So because they're supposed to be moral, right? They're supposed to be Christians. And they're like, that's a bad situation to be in.
Anybody who graduated there before 2004 should be disbarred.
Yeah,
I'm prepared to give a pass to some recent graduates.
See, we're open-minded.
Students who are there now.
All right, but let's get to the heart of this thing here. I mean, other than just making fun of the school, which is always fun. By the way, it's tied for last at 136 among law schools.
How many are there?
There's more than that, but what they do is...
So the last group is all together. You don't distinguish between 136 and 160.
Right. When they get to 136, they're like, it's embarrassing. So let's stop counting.
So it might be 200, actually. We don't know. Right.
Yeah. So, but the heart of the matter is this. John Ashcroft, in late 2002, changed the rules for how you select lawyers at the Justice Department. And this is absolutely critical.
He said, take the dumbest ones. It was a very important change.
No, that is, but Ben, we kid around, but that's exactly what wound up happening. But the actual change was this. He said, before, previous civil servants, the ones that are lawyers at the Justice Department, would pick the most qualified lawyers for the jobs. So, normally you get the best schools, but it's not about going to a great school. It's about experience. And if you had the right experience and you did the right things and you were a great lawyer, that's what they would base it on. And they would base it on your resume and your credentials. And that's how you selected them. But Ashcroft changed the rules so that not experienced attorneys would pick them, but politicians would pick them.
That's all that matters. That's the whole change right there.
Right, and now remember, these are not the U.S. attorneys that are being picked. Those are political, or those are positions filled by the president and on a political level regularly. These are the actual civil servants. These are the actual government attorneys that try the cases. So what they're doing is they're corrupting the whole Justice Department. And what did they do? It turns out they filled 150 different positions with just Regent University graduates. Now, not just the Justice Department, to be fair, the whole federal government, 150. But remember, the Regent University is a law school.
A law school.
So a lot of those went to the Justice Department.
Or lawyers at other agencies.
Right. So they filled the entire lower ranks of the Justice Department with Bush loyalists. That literally, some of these people, the Boston Globe tracked
Not
them.
loyal, not lower ranks like receptionists. Lawyers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they tracked some of these people. Literally, some of these other people couldn't find a single other job. They were offered employment by no one, and they got great jobs at the Justice Department.
Like head of personnel. Also, the head of Regent became like the head of personnel at the Justice Department.
Of course. So why do you, for the whole government, why do you think they got so many jobs?
It's ridiculous.
So the problem here is, and we'll wrap it up here, is that not only are they going to stay for this administration, those are actual career jobs. So they're going to stay for the next administration. And you think they're not going to cause Democratic administrations problems? Believe me, you're going to hear a lot more about this as the years and decades follow, unfortunately.